Hello, and welcome to Let's Make Shit Sounds Sound Super Fucking Trippy. Um, we have a chord progression, a really bad one, some ninth chords. If you don't know what ninth chords are, that's another tutorial altogether. But essentially, it's a 1, 5, 4, and then a 4 with a uh, dominant seventh in it. But what we're going to do is make this fairly bait sounding progression sound a bit more interesting than it does right now. This is what it sounds like right now, which is okay, I guess. But what we're going to do is make it a little bit more interesting by reversing the order of the chords. So we're going to take this and we're going to put it over here. We're going to put this, we're going to put it there, we're going to put this over here, and we're going to put this chord over there. And instead of manually doing it like I would do in Logic, Ableton has this nifty little button where you can just press reverse and it will just flip it over for you, which is really, really helpful. So it reverses the order of the chords. Now what we're going to do is slap some different effects on it, so when we reverse it backwards, it will sound like the sound is sucking back into itself. So we've got a frequency shifter that's on a fairly modest setting, a little bit of ping pong delay, and a little bit of reverb. These are all put on per taste, so you can do this as differently or as interestingly or as you like. Generally what I do is then freeze the track, make a new track, press Alt, select them all, press Alt, then drag it across. Then we don't really need this anymore, so I can delete it. And then join these all together, and then reverse this bad boy. So now we have an arpeggio sucking back into itself. We can make this a little bit more interesting just by chucking a couple more effects on it and then doing a similar sort of process. We'll try the grain delay. I kind of like the sound of that. That's fairly trippy. This is what it sounds like. Whoa. And make another track, freeze it. And you could either do the similar sort of process, so before you reverse this track, so you put it back, we do the grain delay in reverse, so freeze it again, make a new track, and then I'll drag it across, and then I'll reverse it backwards. Take it off beats, we don't need that. So we've got this kind of interesting sound sucking back into itself, and I think we can go a little bit further with this sound just by messing with the time of it. I'll get some fairly interesting sounds out of it this way. Oh, there's some beats as well. God. Take it off beats. Yeah. And that's pretty much how I make those kind of reverse sounding arpeggio sounds. How to take a fairly boring sound and transform it into something that puzzles your mind when you hear it, and it's not that easy to reverse engineer when you first hear the sound. I hope this helps anyone that's interested in making these kind of sounds. Cheers.